of they're known, but they don't necessarily get the credit that everybody that a big Power 5 school gets. They're a Power 6 school, but I mean, if you look at this, if you look at the facilities, you look at how the program is structured. There's no difference between a Houston and an ACC school or a Big Ten school. There's no difference. It's just about the amount of people. There's a lot of people that go to Houston, but it's just I think that they don't really get that they had that underdog mentality. So with that being said, it was a perfect fit. I always felt like that. Yes, I had to offer some big schools, but okay, I can make my mark at Houston. I know that I can go to a school where everybody in the program is the same mentality like me.
Nice, man. I love the answer. So I know you mentioned about you being a dog, and that's what really attracted your game to Coach Sampson and also the program and what that culture is. What does the word competition or just competing in general mean to you?
Me and you, it's a winner and a loser. It's a competition between – it's a race to the finish line between me and you. What you going to do to get there first? That's basically what competition means to me.
Awesome, man. I think a lot of people like Jimmy Butler, Tony Allen, Russell Westbrook, might have had that same answer. What are those guys, do you model your game after them, and do you look up to them, their mentality and what they bring to the game of basketball?
I definitely do. I definitely see their game and see what they have their story and see how they came up in the game and put it to my own game and not really just take everything that they do, but take bits and pieces of it and to mold it into be a monster. I think that I really look at their mentality and how they attack the work, how they attack everything that they do, and then put it all together, shake it in a box, and come up with a masterpiece of a body of work. So I think that definitely looking at those guys definitely helped me in my game.
Yeah, man. I love Russell Westbrook myself. I'm from Long Beach. He's from Long Beach out here. And, what he brought to the table to the NBA is, I would never have seen that. But I think that's a credit to his dog mentality of always continuing to get better.
Definitely.
This is hard for myself a little bit, but I used to be a diehard UCLA fan. So, back in the day, I'm like, give the ball to Aaron Aflalo, let him rock. He's a freshman coming in with ultra confidence. And we see that confidence stay the same, but his skill set get better. And when that matches, you created a monster, man. And I think you're going to definitely have that same trajectory. But being a dog is not only, mano a mano and, who's going to get it. It's also about leadership. And you were a captain on the team as well for Houston Cougars. And what would you credit, your leadership skills to? I seen you on the court yelling at your team to get back. You're very passionate. You play with a lot of fire. What would you credit that to?
I think I credit that to my upbringing, my parents, my dad being a pastor, my mom being a teacher, having those leadership people, having them have been in leadership positions and then, in my genes and then seeing how they do it. And then also ultimately it's just natural. It just comes natural to me, in classroom and, those teachers saying, who wants to be the head line leader. I'm the one trying to be the line leader. It's not natural. I don't have to force it. It just naturally comes to me. So I think that have that. And then, I credit that also to my trainer. We was in a camp. He knew that I was different. He saw something in me that I was different. And he always tell me, don't run from it. Just embrace being different. And so he always tell me, be different. So I think embracing that and embracing who I am and just kind of being that leader and not being afraid to have everything on your shoulders and to move forward. And that's also being a servant too. I have some servant in me because I want to show that I'm not only thankful, but I want to show you that I'm appreciative. And so I want to tell you, I'm going first. I'm gonna go forward. I'm gonna go do the loose ball. I'm gonna go, hustle. I'm gonna go do whatever it takes to win because I know that if I get myself going, I know that I can lead by example. Then if I dive on the floor, then my teammate gonna dive on the floor. Then you got a whole team full of. It's hard to deal with one dog, but you deal with a dog with a whole bunch of dogs behind him. It changes the whole game. Like everybody coming at you every position is definitely it's definitely a problem. And also I think that realizing that, then that's kind of what keeps me going because somebody has to lead, and so I want to take that chance to do it.
Yeah, man, and that's a great segue. Energy and enthusiasm is contagious, and you bring.
It's contagious. It definitely is.
Like you just said, it's hard to contain one dog, but you have a whole team of dogs. It's hard to knock. So I think every team needs that type of person. But obviously we're talking about the next level. So every franchise, especially they're drafting and that already might have established guys or go-to players on the scoring end, need guys that are willing to do what it takes with energy and enthusiasm and gratitude to get the job done. So, like I said, I mentioned before, I watched your clips earlier, and I see a lot of times, regardless if you score or not, you're yelling at your team to get back. You're talking on defense. You're ball you man. You're attentive. You know, is there anything special you do to get you hyped before the game, or to get that energy, or you just love the game to play it with passion?
I just really lock in. I lock into what's the task at hand. Win. That's the only thing that matters. And like I said, I've done it so many times in the dark where the lights wasn't on and the lights. A lot of fans wasn't in the stands, but I had to do it. I had to bring the energy when I didn't feel like playing a team that we know we're gonna win by 30, but I still got to bring it because if I don't bring it, then my other teammates not gonna bring it. So now it's a habit. Now it's just clockwork. I just naturally do it. We got a game. Okay, the task is win. Somebody got to do it. Somebody got to bring that energy. Somebody because it is contagious, you know. And so I just step to the forward and just bring it every single night. And like I said, it's the love for the game. I think that I've got to this point by just doing off the love of the game, and the guys giving me a lot of gifts and talents, and I just want to whom it is given, much is required. So I just want to take that and just kind of move forward from there. That's I always got to tell. I can't. Just people have sacrificed. People have put so much into me that I just want to give back by showing them that everything that you've done isn't in vain. That you've done something a good service for me.
Yeah, man, I think that would be a great character trait to have and a great role model in community. I know obviously you come from a place of faith, but just having that mindset, let alone as a basketball player, but as a person, is good,
Right.
and it should be
Right.
recognized and acknowledged. And I just want to take a moment to shout out to you for that, man. That's cool. So, in my opinion, and again, my short time of being a CEO, co-founder of a sports tech company, I've had an opportunity to talk to a little bit of a franchise scouts or GMs or coaches that ask around, and I say, hey, if you're looking for a 3-and-D prospect, look no further than Hinton. You have excellent size within multiple positions. Your catch and shoot ability is really underrated, and I think your pick and roll game is underrated as well. You really operate in the mid range very well, able to probe off defenders and use your body to score on balance. But also, you've been playing out of position a little bit for your past 2 seasons at Houston as well. What was it like making that adjustment from, kind of being an all-around player, kind of what the team needs, but also, playing out of position and taking, I would say, a different approach because you are playing out of position. So, anything you have to do differently or approach the game differently, or you just go out there and hoop?
My junior year of high school, I think I only shot 17 or 18 threes I made 17 or 18 threes the whole season. Yeah.
Oh, man.
So the first time I really had to really catch and shoot and be focused on the 3-point line was when I got to college. So in those last 2 years I've only been focusing really on shooting threes. So I think that a lot of people don't know that, but I don't really go out here and telling that. It's just because I know I want to hard work and keep getting better on my shot. So just transitioning from high school, having the ball in my hands, of being a point guard, combo guard, just kind of playmaking and things like that, to transitioning to there's a lot of guards. There's older guards that have been in the system that know the system. Okay, obviously it's going to be different from high school to college, but trying to learn the system and then find the culture of the program and a lot of things that go into it. But ultimately, I wasn't coming from Gastonia, North Carolina, all the way to Houston, Texas, just to sit on the bench. So whatever needed to be done, I could have stayed local if I was going to do that. But I just wanted to go out there and make my mark and do whatever it takes to be on the floor and to make my impact. So I just went out there and just coach, asked me to, play it. Somebody got hurt, injury happened, and I had to, ultimately play at the 4 a little bit. But because I was strong, because, I want to go on the floor, I'm going to do whatever it takes. So I had to play a little bit at the 4. And then, throughout the year, I kind of stayed on the floor. One minute I was subbing at the 3, and then another sub, they'd bring a guard back in. I'm at the 4. And then, throughout the game, I'm always bounce back from 3 to 4 or winging the 4. And so then this year, ultimately having to do a little bit of both, a lot of, playing not really out of position, but just kind of really out of position and kind of just playing off the ball more. So now having that, I think it's going to help me ultimately, though, because, in the NBA, you're going to have those ball-dominant guards. You're going to have those guys that have to have the balls in their hands. And now I know how to do both. So now you just throw me out on the court and I'm going to find a way. So I think that Houston definitely definitely helped me, and it's a part of the growth. You know, if I was only focusing on having the ball in my hands, then I would have never known. If I got to the next level, then I would have been looking not crazy, but I would just been kind of looking stuck because I'm like, this is the first time I've experienced that. But, you know, Houston helped me experience how to play without the ball and knowing that if I'm going to play out the ball, being a three-point shooter, okay, what kind of shots you going to get with the spacing. We, you know, playing an NBA spacing, NBA playing style a little bit, getting up and down and the spacing on the floor. So I think that it definitely helped me. But, you know, like I said, it's not a knock, but like I said, I'm getting back to the basics. I'm getting back to, okay, now I'm being able to do it, work on more. I got off the ball stuff, now going back to playing with the ball. So that way, if the coach throws me out there, he needs me to 1 minute play on the ball or, you know, be a secondary ball handler. God needs to take a breather. Okay, yeah, I'm at the point and we still not missing the beat because I can do that and be on the floor by doing the intangibles of just hustling and being able to catch and shoot and things like that.
Yeah, man. Like coaches need options. The more versatile that you are, the better, you know, more you're going to be on the floor and you're as good as you are available. And if you're available for multiple positions and guarding multiple positions and being on ball, off ball, you know, you're going to be on the court more and you're more, in my opinion, NBA ready in that aspect. And, you know, like you say, it's not a knock on playing out of position, but it's easy to have that mental battle like, hey, I'm not used to doing this. I'm not used to setting screens. Only reason why I can attest to that is, you know, I'm not your size. I'm 6'3", but you do remind me of myself a little bit with playing style for sure, with the mentality. And I had to play the floor once, and a few times, and
Yeah.
I can see how you can get mentally checked out from that.
Yeah, definitely.
And
Definitely.
You to stay
I was going
in, and like you said, that's another example. You know, a lot of people talk, but that shows that you're willing to do kind of whatever it takes, not kind of whatever it takes to get the dub done. Because you know, it's not like your intensity decreases.
Feel a thrust, wanna feel a text, wanna feel a drop top breeze, wanna feel success, wanna chase a game, never chase a message, never stop.